Welcome to the Mark Twain Library. I'm Beth Steinhardt Dominiani, the Library Director. Thank you for joining us for a sneak peek at one of our programs in the Women's Suffragette Centennial Celebration Series, sponsored by the Reading League of Voters and the Mark Twain Library. It's in celebration of the anniversary of the 19th Amendment, which gave women the right to vote. In this video, Dr. Darla Shaw, a well-known women's study historian and a wonderful storyteller, will give us a glimpse into the life of Elsie Hill, a leading woman's suffragette both locally and nationally. Elsie hailed right from Reading. I hope you can join us in person for the full story. I look forward to seeing you very soon at the library. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I am Elsie Hill, and I am probably, the most active, determined suffragette in Reading during the 18th century and early 19th century. For 50 years, I fought for women's rights. When I was in college, I started the Equal Franchising League at Vassar. Then I went on to work with Alice Paul, the 19th Amendment, and then after that, it was the ERA. Then I also went to the book companies and I said, where is the information on women in these books? And then I said to the colleges, we need women's studies classes. Now, I'm just going to give you an overview or summary of my life because when the library opens, I want you to come and we can have a more detailed discussion. Well, my family was one of the founding families in Fairfield County. I had a grandmother back in the 1800s who took over after my grandfather got ill, was an Episcopalian minister. That did not happen with him in the 1800s. And then my father, he was an amazing man, a state senator, a U.S. congressman, ran 5 businesses in Norwalk and believed that women and men were equal. Well, my mother started the DAR right here in Connecticut, and she took us to suffragette meetings and showed her 3 daughters how to be strong women. My 2 sisters and I, we all went to Vassar. There was not a better college that you could attend than Vassar. And that's where I started these women's rights groups. I was so successful with these groups that I was asked to go all over the United States to start similar groups at other colleges and universities. What I was most proud of was that even the Black colleges said, come on down, Elsie, can you help us? And I would go help them as well. Also, I did so many other things. When I got out of college, I went Washington, D.C. I taught French in a high school. While I was there, I joined the National Women's Party with Alice Paul. Did my life change after that. Alice saw I had a good background. I could speak, I could write, I could persuade, I could organize. She embraced me. She had me as the key organizer for the walk in Washington, D.C., 1913, right before the inauguration of Woodrow Wilson. We wanted to show this new president that we needed the right to vote. Well, this didn't happen the way we wanted to. But we had made our mark, and now what we needed to do was to keep the momentum. We chained ourselves to the fence at the White House. We were thrown into prison. We were brutalized. We didn't give up. I was probably thrown into prison more than anyone else. Why? because I also protested in Boston, in Denver, and New York, and all over. Finally, in 1913-19, we got the right to vote. All of the women were working in some way to help the military. They were abroad. They were sacrificing their lives. How could they not ratify the vote when we were in the war effort together with the men? The vote passed. It was not finished for Alice. It was not finished for me. It was just a start. It was the start of now fighting for the Equal Rights Amendment. Equal rights in pay, job opportunities, treatment. You would think everyone would want it. Absolutely not. 1923, along with my husband's help, we penned the legislation for the Alice Paul Amendment, the ERA Amendment. We were given till 1972 to have it ratified, 2/3 of the state. Connecticut, I'm so proud, number 5, never rescinded. Well, it didn't work, but we knew that somewhere down the line, this was all going to happen. Well, Alice then began to work with the UN, and she traveled abroad extensively, and she said, you know, Alice, you are the closest to me. Elsie, I want you to take over the National Women's Party, continue the fight for ERA the rest of my life. That's what I did. I spent time traveling the country, running meetings, running symposiums, running conferences, working with the legislators, writing periodical articles. Oh, it was nonstop. I even penned the Bill of Rights for Women associated with the ERA. With this time, I spent in the colleges. Where are the women's studies courses? I was at the book publishers. 3% of what is in the books relates to women. We are 50% of the population. In 1940, Alice Paul moved from Vermont a mile away from me in Ridgefield. Oh, she had a place on a lake, pretty big house with cabins. I said to her, you know, Alice, we're not getting any younger. Maybe we should start a leadership camp so those young women will have the passion that we did when we started this cause. And we started our group for women's leadership. And oh, some of the women that came out of our leadership camp, it was wonderful. Well, both of us passed before the passage of the Equal Rights Amendment. That's okay, because someday it's going to happen. And I'm going to stop there because I want to see you when the Mark Twain Library opens. I want to tell you about my family and Norwalk and how they built in me a passion for women's rights. I want you to know about my husband and daughter. I want to talk about my 2 sisters and the value of the education that I got at Vassar. And I think you need to know about how difficult it was working in Washington, getting that 19th Amendment passed. And there's so many issues with ERA. I want to discuss the politics. How many groups were against us then and are still against us? Also, my rock house. That house in Reading where I lived. It's gone totally untouched. It's almost like a museum to my memory. And also, I wasn't only women's rights. I was many other things, such as travel. So I want you to come and see my Pan Am bag and hear my Pan Am airline story. Thank you. See you later on. when the library opens.